high above with thoughts of sunbeams and gentle waves. Maybe you imagine yourself relaxing on a beach on a lazy Sunday with an expensive ice cream as simple tiny crabs dance along the sand for your amusement. It looks absolutely delightful. You like the ocean? That cute, peaceful side happens to be exactly what we are ignoring today. Our story starts a few milliseconds after reality shifts. Suddenly, there is no shoreline, and the sweet breeze leaves you as something massive, something hidden in the darkness, drags you down miles away in the shadows shift of a pitch-black environment. Deep sea exploration and working where light cannot penetrate is a brutal change of direction from your snorkeling vacation plans into a place filled with intense, crushing terror. In today's descent through the abyss, we look specifically at your life as a deep sea diver, while the environment reminds you at every second that the ocean absolutely and entirely does not care whether you exist or breathe or finish your shift today. The weight of eternity rests waiting. Clear away every casual image attached to diving, first and foremost before progressing down. There's a persistent modern misunderstanding. When normal holidaymakers reference diving activities, it almost always implies wearing some fins or perhaps finding colorful fish near a reef exactly where Finding Nemo would reside. That is not the deep water career we analyze tonight. Realities change for a commercial saturation diver whose bodies are refined for work. The human animal generally declares as a categorical absolutely not to their boss and the entire labor union pool and industry simultaneously. But luckily for offshore investors, these unique people really flourish deep, where pressure grows legendary and cold waves prevail through the murky, heavy liquid columns covering 80% of geological space across current history on the planet below, clouds above standard weather metrics. A resort-level tourist often sits near 40 tiny little meters underwater, looking and shaking about coral, but an actual diver inside our career path typically dives straight for 300 meters into the absolute pitch darkness surrounding pipeline hubs, which puts exactly 30 vertical stacked concrete buildings of equivalent water weight onto human limbs, while moving under the current of massive tides and chilling storms, wading across horizons long distances, hence avoiding errors or casual light attempts. One main core realization regarding the extreme depth profession suggests starting before you touch any drop of salt water, directly or indirectly today, though sadly standard wetsuit logistics hardly work. Inside saturation realities found overseas through difficult shifts or heavy deployments across deep oceans on floating steel. The challenge with falling deeply in depth essentially resides in science along specific biology factors. Since high pressure pushes nitrogen and exotic welding mix helium into cellular groups through deep internal vascular areas, directly causing serious complications every single moment. Humanity occupies physics outside standard atmosphere limits today and hereafter, safely throughout daily rotations. Deep below surface ships along dangerous offshore basins everywhere science operates carefully under law. We cannot simply return to dry decks every afternoon to dinner and warm snacks because changing external weights forces blood gases into expansion while creating terrible lethal hardware bubbles everywhere beneath joints or veins, making recovery dangerous or practically totally absolute ruined daily within the human anatomical framework. Consequently, our chosen solution suggests taking residential periods permanently sealed tight at full working underwater pressure using saturated steel gas tanks similar to metallic oversized pill shapes. Inside the deck framework, avoiding changes while living alongside mechanical friends, as biological clocks stop timing regular evening routines normally held. Mental health begins feeling specific shifts after 17 rotations of sitting while stuck waiting under titanium steel, or custom specialized structural metallic plumbing alongside coworkers as close as roommates in narrow hotel trailers designed by people hating comfortable existence entirely. Saturation diving stays pressurized inside high tensile rooms, comparable primarily to long, narrow laboratory bathrooms, except your colleagues sharing every morning. Also happen for high salary payments across fixed schedules between underwater welding assignments, every week under biological darkness across many years, or just current rotations along North Atlantic shelves, currently seeing winter weather spikes right above you on metal hills. Being claustrophobic stays impossible as logic shows the surrounding habitat occupies barely sufficient volume needed regarding survival without privacy. It contains roughly a large family car amount of space, distributed between narrow beds along tight corridors, shared forever between the trio or dive squad. attempting sanity amongst vibrating oxygen cleaners combined with mechanical scrubbers, pushing noisy internal circulation constantly into ears without relief away elsewhere, along common recreational spots you previously used as distractions, before high-pressure lifestyles absorbed existing memories daily without regret. Your friends better maintain really enjoyable personality features, otherwise, your next 30 years existing alongside pipelines ends feeling mentally exhausting or totally maddening under gas mix shifts. Getting truly productive starts on workdays within standard professional delivery capsules, nicknamed our diving bells. Since traditional design echoes high-gravity vertical elevator chambers, dropping directly deep. Imagine an unlit steel cube packed between industrial hydraulic cables and cold electrical wiring systems, with the smells mostly consisting solely of ancient burning oil, along with recycled stale air combined through sweat because everyone feels nervous within confined transport containers dropping via rusted cranes over high-deck edges into crashing foam, until darkness engulfs visual sensor groups looking through standard heavy titanium portals. Gravity seems entirely shifted through biological darkness beneath surface reflections, vanishing away during 20 solid minutes, along specialized machinery tracks slowly and mechanically, reaching extreme operational depth, while your nervous heartbeat hammers rapidly with internal echoing, against suit interiors waiting eventually through absolute liquid blackness. Visibility drops beneath 200 total separate meters, causing sensory deprivations entirely, while bioluminescent predators watch blinking around metallic shadows, following descent trajectories between underwater mountain chains hidden along industrial paths normally invisible along sea level, tourists looking out towards holiday boat docks, normally enjoying vacations or sunshine days, during casual summer events long ago on sunny lands far behind now currently. Actually performing labor deep alongside 300 vertical meters requires mechanical precision amidst visual zero visibility environments along murky geological basins, elsewhere in depths that terrify normal land human perspectives today, immediately while facing nature. The modern objective tonight identifies metallic crack repairs using manual torch heat, generating bright, terrifying static energy patterns, blooming like mini artificial suns while illuminating biological silence as your numb rubber fingers grope against cold conduits in viscous flowing water, pulling at survival equipment ropes or lifelines connecting oxygen while facing. Physics attempting regularly, just attempting staying still. The Ocean Act S using millions together, pushing gallons across heavy legs, preventing accurate metallic soldering attempts. Despite years practicing skill sequences under simple light atmospheres elsewhere where air exists because now only shadows respond. Following heavy industrial currents drifting by the pipeline joints, specifically failing maintenance inspections long ago, through mechanical fatigue signals or standard erosion factors caused simply via saline toxicity across iron structures within current depths underwater deep. Gravity weights nothing. Meanwhile, fluid creates immense heavy drag, specifically affecting diver rotations regarding repairs through shadows under thick mud. No sound returns through the abyss because communication stays robotic, sounding digital frequency, high helium pitch squeals, mimicking strange cartoon monsters accidentally performing vital critical work assignments, deep away below ship hulks far tonight, across high swells on currents above forever, now specifically looking downward slowly across space elsewhere. Life ending after shifts deep isn't usually quite movie cinematic since victory exists. Simply surviving standard decompression durations back up across 20 separate hours, after cycles finish safely throughout long, tedious physical maintenance assignments. Inside the tubes, once returning ships successfully alongside cranes, hauling diving bell weights away below deck structures towards warmth. Long since vanished days ahead during missions ongoing under murky currents currently active through underwater geological shelves. This occupation truly respects those choosing liquid shadows for money, at terrible physiological costs as physics remains brutal, since pressurized blood and heavy saline currents destroy everything casual human ambition creates among solar surfaces under normal clouds, along beaches visited briefly before taking job recruitment shifts. Long elsewhere beneath shadows tonight, specifically throughout. Remember our reality check before starting career resumes or commercial schools. Since absolute crushing volume demands paying daily with high mental trauma, plus dangerous environments. Because your life matters barely once underwater, compared with industrial infrastructure ensuring globally delivered fossils or high communications data lines connecting everybody else residing high safely atop waves beneath summer sun rays tonight, specifically dreaming of tranquility away forever. Away below dark oceans beneath silence always forever, until the divers finally surfacing, arrive home once anymore, finally returning quickly.